Hi, my name is CTrietsch, ukulele builder and instrumentalist. The question today is ukulele effects pedals. So I figured the best way to explain would be to show you my pedal board that I'm using right now in performances and kind of give you a quick and easy of what each one does, and I can go into more depth about each pedal if you're interested in another video. So before we get there, let's talk about the amplifier first. This is Rolling Cube 15. It's an electric guitar amplifier. You really, with an ukulele, want a acoustic amplifier, but electric guitar amps work fine. Usually get a couple EQ knobs, like a bass, mids, trebles, and I have a volume knob, and I have the volume down all the way at 1 because these amps get pretty loud, and it's also sitting right next to my head. So anyway, if we look over my pedal board, we're going to start, I have 9 pedals on here. I made this pedal board myself. It's just a piece of wood with 2 door handles on each side, so I can pick it up, put it in a little briefcase I have that fits it perfectly. And so starting right here, this is the cable that's plugged into my ukulele, and so the input right here goes to the ukulele. This right here is a preamp. It's a Fishman Pro EQ2, and that gives me some EQ, bass, mids, treble, and then also brilliance. It gives you a couple different things. That's kind of like, do you want the sound a little more mellow or a little more, a little brighter, right? And then the volume. This is probably the most important pedal on my board, and this is the most important knob right here, the volume. My ukulele has a passive pickup in it. It's undersaddle transducer, and a lot of people have an onboard preamp. It's a big block over here, and then a 9-volt battery in the ukulele, and it changes the weight of the ukulele, and it diminishes the acoustic quality of it too. So I try not to put too many, electronics in the ukulele. Instead, I have them on the floor where, it's not changing how this feels and how it sounds acoustically, right? So the EQ cleans up the signal, makes it a strong signal so that it can get all the way through all these pedals to the amplifier, and we get a good sound, not too distorted, right? So if you follow this yellow cable, these are called patch cables, they go between each pedal, connects to this right here, and that's my tuner. It's a Polytune, which is a polyphonic tuner. It can actually tune multiple strings at once. Works really well for guitar, which it's set for, but I like to see I can play multiple strings and actually pull up little gauges for different strings, but of course it's not set for an ukulele, it's set for guitar. So I use it one string at a time. And you see that little red line? I make the C flat. See the red line? We want to get it right to the middle where it hits that green line, right? I like this because it's got a big screen and it's easy to see even if I don't have my glasses on. And another thing too is that it mutes the signal. So this is just the acoustic instrument. And if I have to change instruments, I can change, pull the plug out without having a big crackle and pop. And then plug the, like when I perform, sometimes I have my baritone. So change to my baritone, and then I'll tune it, and then I'll turn it off, and we're live again. Okay? After that, we go to this blues driver over here. Okay, and the signal chain now goes through my main effects. I got the blues driver, flanger, an afterglow, the prophet, and the sky surfer. Right? So let's jump to the end actually here to my reverb pedal. This is a TC electronic reverb called the Sky Surfer, and these 4 pedals are all from the same line from Reverb. It's a nice, the casing is strong and sturdy, and they fit side by side, so all the plugs are on the top. So I like it, and it's not too expensive. Used, you can get these for about 30 bucks, and new, they're 50 to 60 bucks right now. So I like them, and they do the job for me. So this Reverb is the first one I'll turn on. And what that does is it adds a little bit of, after I play, a little bit of almost room echo in there. This is a clean, dry sound. You see, sound cuts off right when I cut the sound off. With this, after I play, if I cut off the sound, I'll still have some like room sound in there. So I usually have that set and leave that on almost all the time. I'm going to turn it off for right now. Another variation of like echo is called delay, and that's what the Prophet, this green pedal right here, does. This is a digital delay, and you can get analog or digital delay and a lot of analog or digital pedals as well. It's a digital delay, a little different than an analog one, but this is what the sound is. So here's the clean sound. Here's with the delay on. See here, it gives a pop, 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 pop after I play. It's like an echo bouncing, off the back of the room. Right, so that works really well for certain things, like this song. That's the introduction to a song that I wrote called Solace. So I use that there. And the next pedal here that I'll go down, this yellow pedal, it's called the chorus. And this adds a lot of shimmery kind of sounds. I don't know exactly what a chorus does, but I think it like modulates the pitch a little bit. So you get a little bit, the pitch instead of being like one clear tone will kind of be spread out like this. And this is what it sounds like. So let me show you like this. Cool sound, right? This is it dry. Here's with the chorus. I think the idea is that it's like a chorus, like a multiple, it's like doubling, tripling the instrument sound, and then each one's slightly different than the original, so you have this cool like big sound. I like combining the chorus and the delay for that song. Get a cool sound for that. That's Starfall, another one of my originals from my album Beginning Today. Now this next one, the Thunderstorm, this is a really cool one. It's called a flanger. What a flanger is a combination of two pedals. It's a chorus pedal and a phaser, and I don't have the phaser on here because I got the flanger and it does a little bit of both. You could have a phaser and a chorus and then just click on both of those and get the same effect as a flanger, but let me play just dry. Okay, I'm going to play the same thing. I'm going to try to play really steady and let you listen to the flanger. So you get a little bit of that chorusing, and the other thing that it does, what the phaser side of it does, is kind of brings it in and out. So it goes almost like wind howling too, but it's oscillating like this. And adding the chorus and oscillating, that's the flange sound. And I use it in this song called Off the Jetty at this part. Now here's the sound dry just for comparison. Right? Way different. So pretty cool pedal. That one's a nice one to pull out for a song or two in a set. Now going backwards, back to the blues driver. The blues driver is my distortion pedal, and I can use it in two ways. I can set it clean and just use it as a boost, because this knob right here, the level, you see it's only about a quarter of the way up. If I turn that up, the ukulele gets very loud. So what I usually do is I set the effect, I set the gain, and what's the other one? Tone, and then I play with that pedal on and I play with it off. And I try to get that level, the volume, to be the same while the pedal's on and off. But if I want to have it louder when I turn that pedal on, I can turn the level up a little bit. And that's used in situations like when I have the looper on. So here's what it sounds like with distortion. And that's a pretty hot distortion. That brings me to the looper over here. So this is a Boss loop station. The blues driver is also a Boss pedal. So there you see it's a little different style than the TC Electronics. They have a nice, easy to stomp on button here compared to these little buttons you got to be a little more precise with. But when you stomp this, what will happen is it'll record your playing, and then you stomp it again, and you got to make sure you get the timing really well, and then it'll continue playing. And with this knob right here, there's actually two knobs in here. You can adjust the top and the bottom of it. That'll give you a volume adjustment for your loop, so you can turn the background music down or up. And the other one actually has a drum machine in it, so you can adjust the volume of the drum machine. That's what I think the top one does. So it also has some presettings. So I'll go down. I think this is yeah, that's a cut from Jake Shimokura's Dragon. I just looped it so I can play around. So here's an example of something looped with the blues driver distortion. When turn that one off, you have to click it twice. You see when the red button at the top left over here, when the red button's on, it's recording. So I actually record, I think, infinite amounts of material to loop, and it'll just take that 1 or 2 or 3, 4 measures, whatever, and keep layering more and more on it if I want to. So that's my signal chain right now. That's what I use when I perform, and it gives me a lot of different options, a lot of variety, some cool things that I can pull out if the crowd starts to get a little sleepy, and some nice ways to just really open the sound up and make it really spacey, like with the chorus and delay, or just have a nice clean sound like this with the reverb. For something like my song Farfalla. Okay, hope you enjoyed the information. If you like this video, please press the like button, subscribe to my YouTube page, and go check out my Patreon where I post exclusive ukulele content just for you. Thanks so much.